Welcome to Unhinged Space. I'm your host, Timothy Elbies, and here starts Episode 2, Potential for Crew Dragon for Lunar Missions. The recent success this year of the SpaceX Dragon's flight to the International Space Station was the first time in nearly a decade that Americans travelled into space aboard an American vehicle launched from American soil. This is important, but I think the flight actually means even more. This commercially developed spacecraft has given the United States the means to carry crews to the moon, and perhaps beyond, much cheaper and faster than has ever been envisaged. Shouldn't we take advantage of it? In March 2019, Vice President Pence challenged NASA to land astronauts on the moon by 2024 by any means necessary. This was a potential breakthrough because after nearly 50 years of drift, the White House was finally giving NASA's human spaceflight program a concrete goal with a clear timeline and forceful support. The necessity for any progress and restoration of the agency's can-do spirit. The purpose of the mission itself is a blend of economic, scientific, and world leadership goals. NASA's response to Pence's challenge was to proceed with what it had already had in the pipeline, the Orion crewed spacecraft and the massive shuttle-derived Space Launch System, or SLS, Heavy Lift Expendable Booster Rocket. SLS has been in slow walk development since 2006, and with more than $18 billion spent, but it is still awaiting its first launch. Considering this track record, I doubt the SLS-Orion combination will meet the Vice President's challenge. I propose an alternative. The contract that resulted in the Dragon crewed spacecraft was issued by NASA in 2014. 6 years and $3 billion later, it has flown astronauts into orbit. What SpaceX did was show that a well-led and entrepreneurial team can achieve results that were previously thought to require the efforts of superpowers, and in a small fraction of the time and cost, and even, as demonstrated by its own reusable Falcon launch vehicles, do things deemed impossible. I recognise the hard work that NASA and its contractors have put into the Orion program, but they have simply been left behind by the more nimble commercial companies. Dragon is not just cheaper than the Orion, it is much better, primarily due to being lighter. The Dragon has a mass of 9.5 tonnes, compared to the Orion's 26.5 tonnes. The Orion could have been designed lighter, but the NASA has received so many conflicting directives from administrations, it's induced delays. Furthermore, the SLS cannot deliver Orion to the low lunar orbit like the Apollo program did, with enough propellant to fly it home. To fix this, NASA wants to build a new space station in high lunar orbit, which it calls the Gateway, to provide the Orion with a destination that it can reach. But to travel down to the moon and back up to the high Gateway orbit requires a lander with double the propellant needed from low orbit. The SpaceX Crew Dragon, weighing in at only 20% more than the Apollo capsule, has 50% more internal space, making it more than large enough. Not only that, we wouldn't need to wait or pay for an SLS to get it there. SpaceX's already operational Falcon Heavy launcher could send it to low lunar orbit with a fully fueled return stage, eliminating the necessity for the Gateway station in this scenario. To land would still be a two-rocket situation, one to deliver the Dragon to lunar orbit and another to send the lander, but vastly cheaper and faster, requiring 2 Falcon Heavy rockets instead of 2 SLS boosters, which cost about 10 times as much. This said, NASA is also funding 3 commercial entities to make the lunar lander, that being the National Team, Dynetics, and SpaceX. I propose that the Crew Dragon first be sent on an Apollo 8 type flight around the moon as a demonstration, followed closely by a landing with a commercial lander. What do you, my audience, think of this scenario? Please comment below and let's have a discussion. Thanks for watching and have a great week. See ya! A big shout out to my boy Cyclonics for his graphical design with my thumbnail. Please visit his channel and get in contact with him if you need graphic help as well. He's an absolute legend.